Welcome to Keeping Up with Our Community, a podcast for and about Romeo Community Schools. Each week, we will invite different guests to share insights about some unique aspects of our schools. This podcast is powered by the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than MIT TV. Their in-studio podcast experience allows you to record perfect audio and capture amazing video. That's all right here at the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan. Contact them now via email for a free consultation and schedule a visit at mit.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Hello, my name is Marianne Brush, Communications and Marketing Supervisor for Romeo Community Schools, and this is episode 53 of our Keeping Up with Our Community Schools podcast. Joining me today are three young women with whom I have been spending a lot of time this year. Anastasia Edwards, McKenna Milne, and Caitlin Wisniewski are all Romeo High School students who are participating in our first in-district work-based learning experience, working directly with me on promoting the district. Previously, in episode 42, Eva Dawson, Career and Technical Education Director and Work-Based Learning Coordinator, spoke about how work-based learning opportunities connect to student experiences at Romeo High School. Well, the students here today are going to give us a specific example of this by sharing their experiences as members of the district student media team. So let's begin with introductions. Why don't we go around the table, each of you say your name, year, and what academy and pathway you're in before we go into the specifics of the team. I should mention that one very important member isn't joining us today, and that is Alyssa Hartman. McKenna, let's begin with you.
Yeah, hi, I'm McKenna Milne. I am a senior at Romeo. I'm in the DEM Academy, and then my pathway is video production.
My name is Anastasia Edwards. I am also a senior at Romeo High School. I am in the DEM Academy, and this is my third year of video production.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Wisniewski. I'm in the HHP education pathway, and I'm also a senior at Romeo High School.
But you've taken a lot of video production classes.
Yeah, I've taken video production since 10th grade, so.
Okay, so you definitely have an interest, even though that's not your pathway.
Yeah, very.
Okay. And I should say Alyssa is a junior. She's the sole junior on the team. Does anybody want to share what her...
She is DEM.
She's also DEM video production.
Okay, and I know she does graphics and has a lot of other talents. Okay, so why did you decide to be a part of this in-district work-based learning experience? Caitlin, why don't we begin with you, since you actually were a part of the pilot semester last spring.
So we started this work-based learning last year, the second semester. That was more of like a marketing and communications, where we combined a bunch of different people from different academies and pathways to sort of like conquer a bunch of different things at once. We each had our own role, but this year is more all media based.
Last year, when it was more of an agency approach, we had people from journalism, we had people from from marketing and video production, and so we had like different projects. But this year, it was focused specifically. Does anybody want to talk about our main project for this year?
Yeah, so we have one big main project and then this kind of like smaller one that we're giving just as attention to right now at the moment. We're wrapping it up right now. But our big overarching project for the year is the district promotional video. If you haven't seen it, it's just kind of showing the feeling that Romeo brings. Like, it's describing all the reasons that you should bring your kids to Romeo. Teachers are going to be in it, principals, maybe students. It's just, we want to show off Romeo because it's so special to us. We want to be able to show people out of district, people maybe bringing new kids into the district, just anyone.
Yeah, the video that's on the website currently is a little dated. It's a good video, but it's a little bit dated. It doesn't even have the Romeo High School and academies didn't even exist yet. So
just a little DEM hallway.
Yeah. So, but it's a big project, right? I mean, we find that you watch a 3, 4, 6 minute video and you don't realize how much goes into all the the shooting, the editing, the B-roll, the interviews, the everything that hits the cutting room
A lot of
floor.
emails.
6 to 10 minutes in like a
Yeah.
year. I mean, and
Yeah.
it flies by, but also doesn't for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in terms of doing that, what have you had to do? What have you been responsible for doing in terms of setting up interviews or?
Yeah, so we've been responsible for sending emails out to teachers and parents and setting up like appointments and making sure like
Scheduling the video
Yeah,
They have,
schedule
they have the
interviews.
questions for what we're gonna ask them. Possibly B-roll, just emails everywhere to every single school. Just be like, hey, we're working on this project and we need your help.
And you've been to pretty much every school, haven't you? Just taking
Yes.
footage, like outside, inside.
Yeah.
Probably will want to do some in the spring when things, trees are in bloom, and do a
sure.
little bit more. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot that you don't actually see.
Lots of preparing. I mean, like with the B-roll, if you don't know what B-roll is just when you see like a little pretty picture come up when someone's talking about something off screen. I mean, just in getting those, we set up the camera, we get either tripods or like little mounts for our shoulders, we have microphones. I mean, we're lugging all this stuff over to different schools around the district. So it's really cool and it's really fun, especially when we went over and did the interviews. We tried to do things inside of the classrooms with the kids so we could get a more like homey feel. And it was so fun to see all the kids, like their faces kind of lit up. I don't know how to describe it, but some people get like really excited to be on camera, especially like younger kids. So it was fun.
So you've had at your disposal a lot of the equipment from Miss Harbison's studio, right? So that's been helpful, and she's been very helpful. She's that's our meeting space. We meet once a week and kind of go over the what's going on and what needs to be done, and so that's worked out very well. But yeah, you guys have access to some really great equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the kind of thing you can't really do alone, right? Though you need.
You need a
Cannot
team
do it
for
alone.
this.
Yeah.
Even our team, like sometimes I'm like, we do a lot of good work, but sometimes I'm like, we need to move faster.
yeah.
But I think every team in any industry that you work in is going to have like a little bit of a lull for a minute, and I feel like our team specifically is very good at getting back on track, and like especially when we have our meetings, it helps a lot for Mrs. Brush to come in and we'll all sit down and we'll lay out what we have to do, and like the day after the class after our meeting and the class of our meeting, it's so productive you wouldn't even believe. I feel like we're like a little like a choo-choo train right after our meeting.
And there's like we only have 4 members, but I feel like we make it work. Like we divide and we conquer. Like we have Alyssa on editing, and then we have one person or 2 or 3 people that go out and get the interview. So I feel like that helps a lot, even though like we don't have a lot of people in the class.
And the further you get into making a video, I mean, at the beginning, you kind of only really have go out, get the interviews, someone film the interview. But the further you get into making the content, you have more and more branches. You have someone editing, you have someone making the names pop up on the video and the waiting slides, and you have people, still filming, still at, like, there's just so many different things that everyone can be doing. It just takes a little bit to get into that.
The lower thirds. I learned that. I didn't know that that's what that was called.
Yeah, I'm trying to use broad terms for all of that because I know that that's very much. I mean, our like beyond the work-based learning, the video production class at our school is so important if you are going into anything related to like I would even say advertising. I mean, this is just all stuff that you'll need in the future. And
The skills that you
yeah,
learn.
I think
Yeah.
definitely the skills we learned in those classes. I mean,
It's not even just like media and how to use a camera or tripod or whatever, but it's still communication skills. It's not just media. That's what some people think, yeah, this is a media work-based learning, but yet you're using like professional emails, like you're using your communication.
Yeah, and it gives you so many opportunities too, because we have so many field trips. WBRW, we have like the Lawrence Tech University internships. Like McKenna and I, we actually went out 2 years ago and we did an internship at Lawrence Tech University, and it covered a lot. And if we weren't in video production, we wouldn't have been able to do that. So yeah,
It's a really great experience. Yeah. So it's just WBRW was yesterday, right? The field trip to WBRW?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
for video production too.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't think
Yeah.
any of us went
Okay.
to that, but we did hear good things about it.
But you went to the Pistons game, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So video production every year around like February or March, we go to what's called a Pistons Media Day, which we get to see behind the scenes of like the big screen and like everything that they do with technical directors and all that. And after that, we get to see a Pistons game, which is really fun. But
And take some free throws.
yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah. Okay. So there are lots of opportunities for you all to, and take those skills and apply them to this work experience. Which, any other specific skills you think you've learned that you can see bringing into your like a future employment or?
I mean, just like from this, I feel a lot more confident to reach out to people. I mean, I was very scared. Like the first time I was told like, oh, you have to go interview like an adult.
Yeah, especially like principals.
Principals.
Yeah. That I don't know. And then like we started doing it and I was like, this is not stressful at all. I mean, if anything, people get more stressful and I like having that be my job. I mean, because most of the time I'm the one that interviews. I like having my job, like the opening be keep them like relax them a little bit, like tell them like it's not that stressful, have a little conversation beforehand. I think that's my favorite part of it, like being able to see that like other people are just as nervous about this as I am, and it helps me get into that headspace.
Anything will be cut out, like
yeah.
We just support them throughout the entire thing, which is nice.
And then technically behind the scenes, Caitlin, you've picking out backgrounds and getting. So the other major project, in addition to this promotional video, does anyone want to talk about the other video?
Yeah, we have a so we are work-based learning. What is it? The work-based learning?
Yes.
Our student alumni video, but
Yes.
we talk about work-based learning a lot. We are having a video about student alumni
and their work-based learning experiences, or CTE and things, how that's contributed to their.
Yeah. And it's really nice, especially because I know how involved I am with like my programs specifically. I mean, this work-based learning. And it's really nice that my favorite part of working on the video is that I can see how much their classes and their experience with their jobs. I mean, work-based learning is a job, and how much that helped push them in the right direction. And to see what they're doing now, it's really inspirational. I can't wait for the video to come out. I think Alyssa's doing wonderfully editing it. It's going to look beautiful. We are actually showing it. Was it next week?
Yep, the advisory retreat when the business partners come and they learn a little bit more about ways students can get involved, and there's going to be tables I think set up in the commons area, and y'all are going to be there talking about this experience. So this is a little bit of a warm up to that. And then I believe Dr. Robinson's going to be speaking in the auditorium, and the video will be shown, I think, as people sit down. I think so. It'll be a shorter version, kind of a
little teaser.
A little teaser.
I'll be there for that too.
Right, you're filming that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, your video is for posterity.
So I'm a senior tech director for the morning announcements. So me and my two other tech directors were going there to film Dr. Robinson speak that night.
Okay.
Which will be nice.
Yeah, it's a big day.
Live broadcast.
So, these are all very positive projects that are turning out great, but do you want to share any examples of specific challenges you faced and how you've overcome them?
There was a time one of our video files got deleted. Won't name any names, but that was a hardship that we had to overcome. Luckily, we were able to did we end up retrieving the file?
No, we didn't.
We didn't,
But
no.
we still worked around it.
We pedaled through, but you should have seen the loops. I mean, Mrs. Brush, she was like, we were trying to go to the technology department to see if they could back it up. And she was like, I'll pay.
Whatever
It was multiple days of just nonstop stress.
Well,
thinking about it.
We lost multiple. I mean, it's a positive thing that we got all of them back except for one.
Yeah.
And you got to think about the positives. Like, we were very excited.
Yeah.
One life lesson is always download whatever files you have onto your phone first.
Another lesson is don't delete documents or files that you don't know what they are.
Yes, good lesson to be learned as part of teamwork. And just sometimes I know you've shown up for interviews and things have had to get rescheduled, or people are, it's the way, it's the nature of this business that people get busy, and you might have set up an appointment.
Unforeseen.
Yeah. And so you've all had to kind of, reschedule and
Yeah.
just kind of manage
I
all.
mean, just growing like patience.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's like
all
real
of
world.
these.
It's real world.
Yeah, all of these negatives kind of, they always turn out to be positive because I feel like I grow from it and I understand jobs more, more adult jobs. when I
Understand
go
the
through
stress that
Understand.
comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've gotten outside of the Romeo High School. You've gotten to all of the schools. And,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. So I think that's been more so, I think, than in the first experience last spring, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We've probably gone, I think last year, second semester when we were doing communications and marketing, I've only gone out of the school probably like 2 or 3 times. Not even. This year we've gone out of the high school like probably 10 plus times.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely plus.
Yeah.
plus. But another big difference between this year and last year, other than like the name and like the content changes, it's also a lot longer. I mean, I don't know how they did last year with like, because how our video is taking so long. I can't imagine fitting that in one semester.
And some people don't even take work-based learning both semesters. I mean, we were given the chance to, so we're able to have more time to work on these video projects. But from last year, I don't know how.
Yeah. So that's another blessing, is that this was you guys flushed it out last year, and now it's like, I feel like there's a lot of potential, and I really do see like a success in this. I definitely recommend that people would take this.
Because pretty much the entire first semester was all of us taking our interviews, getting the interviews, uploading them, editing them. That was just the first semester.
And the side project kind of turned into the main project. That's sort of what happens. And we've had other people. I feel like there was something else that somebody came to us and we kind of fit it in there.
There's a little retirement video
That's
for
right.
someone.
We did a retirement video for somebody, and that was just a quick job. But it took. You have limited time, you realize how weeks go by very quickly.
But it's not like there's not a lot of pressure because like the deadlines, they aren't as long, and I feel like even though like the deadlines like aren't as long, we still have a lot of time to work on the projects, and like it's not as stressful.
We get to really perfect it.
Yeah, we have time to.
Well, the stress, I think, though, coming up is getting this shortened version of the video, to make sure it's very professional, since it's
very shortened.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's very hard to take what is it, 9 minutes?
Yeah, it's like
edit it down to 4 minutes.
Taking your baby and like it's like you're not gonna give it your all, but
yeah.
I mean, hopefully, like people see this and then they come back and they're interested in watching the full video, because I mean, the 4 minutes, you're not gonna get the full potential, like.
Right. But there's
at least the idea.
There's so many, because each of the alumni, and they talk about their experiences, right? There's just little things you want to include because they all have something different to share.
Wonderful things to say. All of our interviews like were amazing. So also, like, if anyone's listening from that, thank you so much.
Thank you. And all the
shout-out.
principals, parents, students that we've interviewed, thank you very much.
And those still to
Couldn't
come.
have done it without you.
Absolutely.
There are still to come, by the way. For sure, there are still to come.
So you kind of already answered whether you'd recommend this for your peers, like for
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And we've also shared about what's happening next week. So I think anything else you want to add about what you've learned, or
just that I think this opportunity in general, even if you're not a video production student, even if you've never taken a video production class in your life, there's so many things that you can do in this class, and I really do think it's an amazing opportunity to, branch out and maybe make some connections that you didn't have before even. I mean, it's just a wonderful opportunity. So I would, beyond recommending, I say take this.
Yeah.
It's not a recommendation. Take this class.
Yeah.
There's graphics, photography, there's writing even, like writing emails. Like, there's so many different branches that you could go off and do without grabbing a camera, which I think is really cool.
So whatever your specific interest, passion, skill level.
There's a little bit of everything in this.
If your school offers it, then definitely take it, because you will not be disappointed. There's a lot that goes with it.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank you.
joining me
Thank
and
you.
appreciate your time. So next up, we will learn that it's never too early to learn to be kind as we welcome members of Hevel Elementary School's Junior Kindness Club and their advisors to share their perspective on how they make Hevel a kinder place to be. Thank you for joining us, and tune in next week to keep up with Romeo Community Schools. This podcast is powered by the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than MIT TV. Their in-studio podcast experience allows you to record perfect audio and capture amazing video. That's all right here at the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan. Contact them now via email for a free consultation and schedule a visit at mit.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com.